Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazer of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I'm helping you fearlessly and unapologetically live your best, most authentic life. I'm helping you break through your barriers and transcend limitations you may have. I just want to make a quick video on trust the timing of your life. Trust the roadblocks, the delays, and the detours. You have to understand that there is a divine order to everything. People say everything happens for a reason. Cliche as it sounds, it is true. There is divine timing, divine order. There are seasons and cycles. We go into even the 7 Hermetic principles, right? There's a law of rhythm. You might find yourself in the place where you're not quite where you want to be at. Maybe you made a lot of positive change and that's great, and you're making progress. You've done a lot of inner work. You've even done that shadow work. Gone through a lot of difficult experiences, even overcome some trauma maybe, but you're still not exactly where you want to be. And first of all, I want to say that a lot of times we're comparing ourselves to either a standard that we think we should have, which is all of our programming since we were a child, right? From our parents, the media, schools. And then there's also comparing ourselves to other people. We see this person who is on social media appears to be doing better. Appears, but they're showing what they want us to see. You'll know what's going on behind closed doors. So my advice would be, first of all, stay in your own lane. Your timing is not the same as someone else's time. The life you want, there's different pieces and the puzzle that need to come together. Just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen. There's a time, there's a cycle. Like, for example, I had to go to treatment a while ago for my addiction issues, right? I thought my whole life was on hold. I was like, oh, I'm going to be here forever. I'm wasting my life. I'm wasting time here. I should be more ahead of life than I am. First of all, where is that coming from? That's your programming. What if you're exactly where you need to be at to get where you want to be? In the roadblocks, detours, and delays, there's a lesson to be learned. You're not where you want to be because maybe you have limiting beliefs. You're not in the vibration of someone who does have that thing or where you want to go. But life is a never-ending cycle. You're always learning lessons. There's also karma involved, right, with certain things. Certain things have to be resolved until you move forward sometimes. And if something keeps coming up again and again and again, and it keeps triggering you especially, that's probably the thing that you need to work on the most to get where you want to be. So, go back to the thing I said about treatment. When I was in treatment for a while, right, my life had fallen apart, but I was barely making it, okay? I wasn't making it. I was not good mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. I was broken. I was just trying to fake it till I make it, right? I will say I made it pretty far. I made everything work as long as I did, but eventually it all crashed because I didn't have a stable foundation. I was not stable. And even for 4 months seemed like a long time when I was there, and I was like, oh, I should have moved on with my life. The whole world's moving forward, and I'm not. But actually, that's where the greatest growth I had. That's where I did all the inner work to even make these videos and help people and become my best version. And I learned coping skills there so I can deal with bigger things in life. And bigger things have happened in my life. Like, another example, what's going on at Delay. My mom ended her life a little over a month ago. You know, after I went to treatment and stuff, you know, I got everything together. I got a job again. I stabilized myself. I even got better with money and stuff. Not perfect, but getting there. Really did a lot of inner work, emotional work. Did a lot of shadow work. I improved my physical health. I set boundaries with people, even being an empath, right? I was even having toxic relationships. Like, I was looking to buy a house eventually, you know. I want to save more money and, you know, feel more stable, so I'm comfortable about, you know. So I moved back to my parents to save more money. I got out of a relationship. So it feels like I was delayed. Like, oh, back at square one, back at my parents' house. I'm this age, but this is what I had to do to stabilize myself, and I'm kind of glad I did, because look, that delay, I was like, oh man, I'm not saving up money to move out, oh, I should be farther along, right? I had to restart my life over again in all areas, financially, emotionally, delayed physically, in all areas, because of the addiction issues I had, and then, which has also affected my mental health. They're all connected, right? So, then I got here, and I'm glad I had a feeling to come back and leave the guy I was with, and move back to my parents' house. I felt called, and then my mom ended her life recently, right? So I realized that was the reason why I was supposed to work things out with her before she passed, right? There's things that are unresolved, and if I had to stay where I was at, and even though it seemed like I was moving forward, right, I was living with this guy, you know, and I was working everything, and I wanted to even maybe get my own place sooner, but there was something that called me back, right? There's a delay. And now I learned even more lesson in this delay. It's a tragedy what happened, but now I'm working on some of my ancestral trauma, I would say, many relationship with my family, even my brother, my father, which that's a whole other thing on its own. But there's more work to be done. So am I really delayed now sitting here? I'm actually saving up money, which is good, more than I would have. The timing wasn't quite right. I want to just move out, but there are things I need to work on. Now I'm actually helping out some of my family a little bit because it's, it's pretty tragic what happened. I'm also dealing with a little bit of trauma and PTSD and grief from that. Doing pretty well considering everything. But my point is to trust the delays, the roadblocks, and even through my addiction stuff, right? When I was going that direction, because I was so out of alignment with my life, I kept getting roadblocks. A lot of times I think roadblocks are like, you're not supposed to go this way. You're so out of tune with your higher self and where you're supposed to be doing life, where you're supposed to be going, and just not in alignment, right? And I probably wasn't going to make it much longer, honestly, the way it was going, that there had to be roadblocks. I had to lose a job, the relationship, my physical health even, my mental health. I was not living in alignment. I was in the wrong direction. I was going in the wrong direction. Even the detours, right? Sometimes we get so fixated on a certain outcome, we think that something has to happen this way, right? But it happens in a way that's unexpected. So we need to detach from the outcome sometimes. Something can happen in a way better way. It might be what it feels like the longer path, but maybe it's also a more scenic route, right? You enjoy yourself more along the way. You learn more along the way. You have actually better experiences on that way. It might not be the way that you had in mind or that society had in mind or whatever, the programming, the expectations, right? But you learn more that way. And even though the other path seems shorter, right? Even me with a job, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to work. I'm going to do this. I'm going to work. I'm going to save up, get my, all of this programming, right? Oh, maybe get married one day, whatever. I don't know how I feel about that anymore, but that's a whole other story. But I took the other route. I decided to do the inner work. I decided to, you know what? I need help. Went to go get help. And ever since then, I took that step, and that was more in alignment. Even though no one wants to go get help like I did, I thought I could do everything on my own. Because I took that route, it might have seemed longer, I'll be here for 4 months, but that propelled me forward because I learned when I needed to learn to get past the hurdles that I was spending years and years banging my head against while going in the wrong direction, having all kinds of problems in like every single area of my life. It was so out of alignment. And that even led me to create this channel and help and inspire people, which is, I believe, my purpose. I'm not saying YouTube is my purpose, but it's more in alignment. It's helping people, inspiring people who have been through similar crazy experiences, right? The roadblocks, all the tragedies I've went through, were because I'm supposed to help people. And now, is my life exactly where I want to be? No. But I tell you, I feel better. I feel like this is more in alignment. And I feel like sometimes that will even propel you faster than it would have going the wrong direction. At least I'm going in the right direction, right? You have to think, at least when you're going in the right direction, you're at least going in the right direction. Even though it might take a while, you got to get time out of your head sometimes. Time is what controls the matrix, right? Everything is, I don't have enough time, or this is taking too long. You put everything into time, but time's illusion anyway. That's for another video, that rabbit hole. I'm just saying, trust the timing of your life. Stop comparing your timing to other people's. You have your own unique divine timing, and you'll see later on, sometimes you don't see it until it's hindsight, that things had to work out this way, in this order, in this direction. These things had to fall apart. These things had to happen, even tragedies, whatever, for you to get to where you are. And I look back now in hindsight, and I see that when I went to the treatment, when I, even losing relationships, even losing my mom, right? Even though they're horrible experiences, in the moment I couldn't see it, but now in hindsight 2020, I'm like, oh, I can see why all this happened. And it's all actually fit together in a weird way. All these things were actually very connected, and the timing was so precise. Like, when everything happened was it's almost weird. It's almost creepy, right? It's very synchronistic. So, trust the process, trust the timing. And even the delays, detours, and roadblocks can actually lead to something better than you imagine. Trust the process. Once you let go of trying to control the timing of your life and control the direction of your life and detach from the outcome, life becomes more magical. And you'll see that life becomes better for you. That's all I have for today. If you like this content, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I also have a Facebook group, an Instagram, and TikTok. Those links are in my channel description and in this video description. I also offer transformational coaching. If you'd like to book a session with me, my contact information is in this video description as well. Have a good day. Namaste.